Okay, guys. So Maryland is looking to legalize infanticide. Okay, they're talking about this. They were talking about it in Virginia. If a baby was born on account of an abortion, um, and this is even the case right now in New York, people don't know that. But if a baby is born and the abortion was unsuccessful, that baby is not protected under United States law. And this is always what people don't understand. They think that the fact that the child is connected to the mother by an umbilical cord makes it part of the mother's body, and that's why she has the right to abort it. And the second it's not connected to the mother, that it's a human being, it's breathing, it's living, it's protected under the law. And that is not the case. If the baby is born, there are laws that are being banned to protect it if an abortion was botched. And that is why discussions like this are being had. What if the baby was born and just abandoned? Does that baby have any rights under the law? And the answer is, well, we haven't really talked about that. And because we haven't talked about that, the answer really is no. So let's go through this, shall we? Maryland bill will legalize infanticide. Babies could be left to die up to 28 days after birth. Legally. Why? Because this whole panorama about why we didn't want the child in the first place can be pivoted from the baby that's inside the womb to the baby that's outside the womb to the 4-year-old that's on its bicycle, tricycle outside on the street to the grown man who can't speak for himself because he might be disabled. So, yeah, this is what people want to talk about now. And I don't know why anyone would be surprised at this, because that's the whole point. That's why pro-lifers are outside saying, we don't want abortion, because what abortion means is that we are opening the gates for genocide. We are opening the doors for people to have their lives and their importance in our society discussed among other individuals that would deem them worthy of life or unworthy of life based on some standard. Okay? That's genocide. Whether you like it or not, that's genocide. And this right here is evidence that what we were afraid of happening is happening. Okay. So, a bill under consideration in Maryland General Assembly appears to legalize infanticide. The Pregnant Persons Freedom Act. See the verbiage here? The Pregnant Persons Freedom Act. They are not pregnant if the baby is born 22 days, okay, out. If it's been 22 days out since the baby has been out of the mother, it is no longer a pregnant person's issue. But that's how it's labeled, okay? So the Pregnant Persons Freedom Act of 2022, in addition to perpetuating the delusion that persons other than women can conceive and carry a child, right? That's a whole nother issue, because persons is a questionable title when typically it's women, right, that have kids. Anyways, this includes the following omnibus admonition. This section may not be construed to authorize any form of investigation or penalty for a person experiencing a miscarriage, perinatal death related to failure to act, or stillbirth. Perinatal death related to failure to act is most menacing because in this line, we have a very terrible situation. Perinatal is an imprecise word with many interpretations, which is what they want. The World Health Organization, no surprise here, defines it as the period between 23 weeks gestation and 7 days after birth. Other bodies say that perinatal period ends 28 days after birth. So this is no place for the word fetus. This is a child. This is a child born alive and who is possessing every right that you and I enjoy currently. was the idea, that if it was born and it was no longer attached to the mother, that it was now an American citizen. Now it's an American citizen after 28 days. See how that works? Okay. But some Democrats, of course, in Maryland want to end that protection for vulnerable newborns. First, by saying they can be killed by a failure to act, which is with anything. If I was sleeping, if I was in a coma for 28 days and the doctors failed to act to assist me with like food and water, I would die. That's killing me. So for instance, withholding medical care or nourishment or a blanket, and then spelling out that neither the person who has the baby or anyone who helps her can be subjected to criminal. Oh, wait. And then spelling out that it's even worse. So not only will the baby not receive a blanket or food, okay, but anyone who tries to help the baby with blankets or food, all right, spelling out that neither the person who has the baby nor anyone who helps her can be subject to criminal or civil charges. This is really weirdly worded. Further, anyone who attempts to prosecute the pregnant person or her accomplice can be sued for damages. This is insane. Okay, hold on. I just want to read this one more time. So, but some Democrats in Maryland want to end the protection for vulnerable newborns, first by saying they can be killed by a failure to act, for instance, withholding medical care or nourishment or a blanket, and then spelling out that neither the person who has the baby nor anyone who helps her can be subject to criminal or civil charges. I'm curious as to what they meant by there. Maybe they're trying to say that anyone who does help the baby won't be subject to criminal charges. But what I think they're trying to say, which would make more sense and would match with the heinousness of this bill entails, is that if you did try to help the kid, you would be criminalized. So basically, long story short, this is madness. And I don't want to be the one to say what all the pro-lifers have been saying since 1973. I told you so, but we're telling you so. And mark my words, this isn't the first time this bill is going to be introduced. And we hope and pray that it won't be held up. Again, this is a principle that we need to challenge, because once we adopt a principle that is detrimental to our dignity, our well-being, our progeny, and our future, we allow more of that principle. When you say okay to killing a baby at the point of birth, what keeps you from saying okay to killing the baby 2 minutes after birth, or 28 days after birth, or 30 years after birth? This is where it goes. It's the principle that should not have been pushed. And the principle of life having dignity and value from the point of conception until natural death is just continually being challenged. And it is ridiculous. But that's all I have to say right now, guys. I'll be coming back with more articles here in a little bit, and we'll be talking more about this topic. And I'll see you guys later.